Oh, boys and girls, I think this one right here tonight, and I know Sammy Diaz was very special, near and dear to my heart, our last guest. But let me just say right here, right now, this is going to be a special one for me because I haven't had a female talent on STP in quite some time. Dajay might be pissed at that. Shh, don't tell her. But this is going to be a good one, my friends. This is Stirring the Pot with Donkey Kate and our very special guest, the Hellcat herself, Selena Hekate.
Hi, Don.
Oh, welcome to the show, my friend. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, the fans.
Of course, I'm very excited to be here.
Well, there's a few reasons why I really wanted to have you on the show. First off, we still haven't met each other, and I think we've known each other on the book for a minute and a half or so.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, it is. And you're a little bit distant from my home base, so I don't get to see you perform live much, but you've kind of traveled down to my area just a wee bit. We'll talk about that, absolutely. So why don't we just kind of jump right into I'm in the Connecticut area. Could you tell us where you're demographically located, please?
So I'm in the Worcester area of Massachusetts, so I'm pretty like central to everything.
Okay. I see there's like northeast Mass, a little more northern Mass. You do some RI, if you will, some Rhode Island. And now it seems like Miss Hecate spreading her wings a little bit, if you will, and coming down to the Connecticut area.
Mhm.
Talk to us because we're not athletes, the fans. I mean, maybe some are just in a different genre. But I am no athlete. You can ask Mr. Cold Hard Truth; he'll tell you firsthand. Um, Talk to us, the fans, because I like to discuss about the talents when they get away from home base, because home base can be very, very comfortable. So talk to us about spreading your wings a little bit, and maybe is it a little nerve wracking? Because there's question marks when you go to different promotions and talents you haven't maybe even seen before or heard of before. And now you got to get in the ring and hope you both can do some safe dancing in there. So talk to us about that.
It's a great question. So I have a lot of family in the Connecticut area, like Granby and stuff like that. This is my first time, well, second time down there at Test Strength now. I've been training for about 3 years. And at first, this is my first active year. So at the beginning, I was just traveling with John. So I've been very fortunate to have met Dajay and like Pretty Poppy and all those guys. So I kind of have met them all, and that locker room is so nice and so inviting. Slick's fantastic. He's been a pleasure to work for. He's very grateful to have me. It is a little nerve wracking. I'm used to working not bigger shows, but that is a very intimate venue. Very small. People are right on top of you. They can see everything you do. But it's been a really great experience just for me, and then learning, getting to work with other people that I haven't worked with before. And it's been a great experience so far.
Mm. We talk about TOS a lot because of that intimate setting. I don't think I've been to a smaller setting for
Yeah.
wrestling. And I've been to a small setting being PWA, Pro Wrestling Academy. It was based out of Cheshire, Connecticut for a while. And I caught them at their tail end. And I thought that was pretty small. TOS, boys and girls, we talk about it all the time. The dojo, it's a room with a ring with about 20, 30 chairs, maybe.
Yeah.
And we get some standing room only. Let's piggyback on that a little bit because that intimate setting, you're like, holy cow, we are right there. The ring, my feet are on the steps. I'm in the front row all the time. My feet are on the steps of the ring. Talk to us about that intimate setting because it's got to be very different than even if you're just in a gymnasium and stuff like that, you know?
Absolutely. Honestly, it wasn't as nerve-wracking as I thought it would be. But I mean, I enjoy it. Like I enjoy like having those few fans and getting to put on like the best match possible. I get to try things, and everybody in that crowd is fantastic because they're all like there to be entertained and they genuinely care about like the talent. But it is a little nerve-wracking because like if you did mess up or if you get too close, like they're right there. So like it is a little bit of like a high pressure, but it's not, it was like actually really nice because I haven't met you intimately because we always are in passing because we're like late or like we're just running by. But like it's nice to see like familiar fans in the crowd and having you guys be up close is kind of like comforting in a way,
Okay.
like seeing you. And then I know there's another guy in the crowd, Mike Avidable.
Yeah. The Fogman. We call him the Fogman.
Yeah, the Fogman. I've only met him a couple times. I haven't met him personally, but he's always taking video, and you guys are so supportive, and it's a nice group of people. It's actually great.
I appreciate that love because we go to the shows, we whip out our phone, and we shoot the matches. We put them on our YouTube channels. Mike has been around for like 30 years now.
Wow.
And I'm like, 8-ish or so.
Wow.
Maybe 9. But I've been around 8-ish. And, wrestling is subject to change. So our card is subject to change. So you kind of fall into these roller coasters. Even the talent and the fans, Miss Hekate, at the same token. And I know you guys and girls get burnt out from different scenarios within the business and your personal life and trying to do both. But the fans also feel some of that burnout, if you will. And I've been on a little roller coaster. Sometimes I have to take a little time off. And you regroup, you re-energize a little bit, and you come back, you have more fun. But my point being is, myself and the Fogman, we're a couple of people. There are multiple in our area. Rick Del Santo, Eric Smith, he calls himself he calls himself Uncle Otis, but he does short interviews live at the show, and he calls him the Potato. So I call him Uncle Potato. And so there's a few guys and others around that do spend their time to do the footage. And you've got guys like Multimedia Dave. I know you know who that is.
Dave.
And we just love to see the talent. And I can speak for both of them. And I know I'm not putting words in their mouth when saying this because this is why I do it. I absolutely love seeing young, fresh talent from the ground up, evolving in front of our eyes, their character, their gear, their promos, everything, all of those tools that we talk about that it takes to become a wrestler, we love seeing from the ground up. And right now, we are seeing it with you. And I really want to say, when you come out through the curtain, through the door, down the ramp, you look like a professional wrestler. The gear, the look, the presentation, the guns.
In the gym with Johnny Pierce. Come on.
The cold hard truth does push one. I get that. So talk to us about that because I love presentation. When you come through, you do give us some signals. Cheer for me, please. I'm the good one. I'm showing you some guns. We're going to give some high fives. I got a beautiful smile. We have a look about us. We have a presentation. Talk to us about trying to connect with the fans and then get in to your gear selection and how that has become, if you could.
Absolutely. So honestly, growing up, terrible fear, anxiety of being the center of attention. So wrestling's really helped me with that because like going through the curtain at first, I used to have like an anxiety attack. And now I'm like, these people want to see me. Like, I'm going to put on a show. Like, I want to get signed. Like, I want to go to the next level. Growing up, my dad wrestled in the area for like a short bit. And then I watched Shawn Michaels, which is where I got my gear inspo because I was like, Scott Hall and Shawn Michaels are two of my favorite wrestlers of all time. And I wanted to embody that in my gear. And my guy is incredible. He's fantastic. He's worth every second of the wait. You know, I like going out there and looking my best. You know, I want to be the best. So you got to look the best, you know?
Excellent. Excellent. Boys and girls, professional wrestler, only 1 year active. And she's got that foundation of mindset. Look professional. Don't do it half-assed. Don't come out in a t-shirt and a pair of shorts and maybe some clogs or some shit, you know? Do it professional, look professional. And I applaud you on that as a fan, because not every single wrestler does that right off out of the gate. And it's very hard. And I know
it's a
financially
very expensive habit. I just bought this recent set, the one that I wear at Test of Strength, because I usually work heel everywhere. So this is one of the only places I work babyface.
Oh.
That I work babyface, I had to get babyface gear, but it is a very expensive habit.
Then more promoters should have you as a babyface to get some use out of it.
The money back.
Please talk to us about the gear maker, because we like to have young aspiring wrestlers, or even peeps that are in the business and that are looking for a gear maker. Talk to us about your gear maker.
So I got my first gear on Etsy. There's nothing wrong with that. It was like $120, super easy, super fast. And then now that I started going, I talked to a promoter from Green Mountain Wrestling in Vermont. His name's Adam Lash. I work in Vermont a lot. And he was very nice, gave me the name of this guy. His Instagram is Cray Leota. He's fantastic. He makes gear for anybody, everybody. I'm pretty sure he's done like AEW gear. Like, he's very, very good, and it's worth every penny. It's not hard to find a gear maker, but they do take a while. So you just have to be patient, but it's really, really worth it because it's quality. It's going to last you, and it's okay to go to multiple gear makers. I've been thinking about other people, but I just love my guy so much. He does such good work, and it's really important. The look is really important to go with the character. So it was worth it 100%.
No. One of the major tools in that toolbox of being a successful singles wrestler is that gear and that presentation. And you're looking fantastic doing it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing the information with the gear maker, because again, we have generation after generation coming up that want to be wrestlers, you know? So this might spread a little bit and might hit one person. If it does, success.
Absolutely. You know? Yeah. He deserves all the.
So you do come to the Test of Strength dojo as a babyface, a good girl, if you will.
Yes.
Not a heel or a bad girl, if you will. I like to talk about that topic specifically because I'll be honest with you. It kind of pisses me off when I'm seeing a guy in this promotion, that promotion, and across the board, they're a good guy. I've been cheering for him. Then all of a sudden, and I know you have to do the job, what is asked for you. I get that. But God damn, it pisses me off when I see people booing for one of my guys that I cheer for all the time. And I go, I am not going to do that. Or the reversal of a heel guy that is playing a baby face at some other promotion that I am attending. And I am like, I am absolutely not clapping for that MFer. There is no way. I do get the answer of you have to do what you have to do when it comes to babyface heel. So is that what was happening over at the Test of Strength? I'm sure they've seen your work. They see what you do and what your character is. They wanted you to try something a little different and be a babyface, and that's something that you have taken on. Is that something you have done before? And how are you liking it comparing to being a heel?
Great questions. I love this. So I've always been heel. Um, I've been
Okay.
to quite a few training schools, and every one of them's like, you have the look, like you look like a heel. And then I started training. I'm at New England Pro Wrestling Academy right now.
Oh,
I've been there for almost 2 years. And
wow.
it's
Excellent.
really, thank you. So it's really nice because I'm able to try things there, like my baby face, but I mostly work heel and I'm okay with either. And I usually just do what the promoter wants. I'm new to the Connecticut area. And when I usually go into places, like since I'm new, I'm just grateful for the opportunity and
Okay.
whatever the promoter asks me for, like I'll do it. Like I didn't know, I knew working Dage because I've worked her many, many times that she's heel there. So I knew I'd be coming baby face. But you know what? Like I like the challenge. Like I want to be
Mhm.
versatile enough to do both. Because you never know. I might think I'm bad at one and I might be really good at it. So I'm just trying to get as many reps, whether it be heel or baby face, and just try to get as much knowledge as I can.
Okay.
I
When
prefer
I've posed, okay,
I prefer heel. I like doing the butt kicking.
and that's the thing. That's usually the answer. And I'm just going to put it on a very high number of like 85 to 90% of that answer to that question is usually I like heel better because I can have a lot more fun and it's a bit easier to piss you guys off than it is to get you in to me and take you on that ride.
Yeah. And as a female, as a baby face, it's a little easier because like I've worked intergender matches and they see a heel man beating up on me,
Oh,
they're gonna feel bad for me. You know what I mean? So as a baby, I like working baby face, but it's a little more stressful because you do most of the work. But as a heel, I'm just having fun. I'm just like, I'm gonna run in and bump for my life. And it's just, I have like a lot more fun with character work and I like both. But heel, I'm just like, that's my comfort zone.
nice. And you have to be versatile because when the call comes, you need to be able to do that. So it's really nice now in your early career that you can experiment and have those, like you said, reps and doing both. So that's very cool. That helps that toolbox that we talked about.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Um, Test of strength, uh, pretty much my home base. Getting away from your home base, traveling to CT. You said you've worked Dage before or worked with Dage before.
Yes.
Um, I'm just going to say this pretty much bluntly. She's lost her fucking mind as of late. Okay.
She's crazy. She's
Yes.
insane. There's only
And I didn't.
one person I like. There's only one promotion I like her, and that's because she works for me. And that's NCW, which runs in Northeast Championship Wrestling. They run in Dedham, and they also run in Bristol, Rhode Island occasionally. And I worked when I first came into wrestling. My big break was at NCW. John Casey, the promoter, put a lot of faith in me, which was really, really nice. Like he didn't have to give me a chance. He didn't have to do any of that, and he did. And I worked very closely with Amber. She's a vet on the scene, and she came back for one more round. And she had this group called Special Attraction, which has Nikki Valentine, Kelly Brooks, and all those girls. So I was very fortunate to get to learn from them. And now that she's gone, I've taken over and I have taken Dage in as one of my minions. I have. Yes, I know.
I think you broke my heart a little bit.
No. And then I work her there and she's ripping on my face. And I regret. I love her though, like on a personal level. She's fantastic.
um, we make eye contact. We make faces. I'll take a quick picture, and that's pretty much our relationship as of late.
That's it.
Well, first off, before she got into the mission, um, that's kind of when shit was getting a little rocky between us. I don't know what the hell happened there. But then she joined the mission, and that just that just put me over the edge. Don't join the mission. Okay. I mean, for fuck's sake, don't do stupid things like that. And now she's got this thing for Magic Man's rabbit, and she freaks out with that. She loses her damn mind.
She does. She really does. Sometimes I don't know what to do with her, honestly. Gotta wait for me.
Well, I mean, now that you've seen it firsthand with the rabbit, if you really need her as a minion to take out some people up there in Dedham and such in Bristol, just give her a damn stuffed white rabbit. She will unleash all fury.
She really will.
I think you need to do that. Buy one just for the fuck of it and have it.
That would be great.
Emergency break glass when needed. Get the rabbit and send her on her way.
Yeah.
She's gonna hate me for that, and I love it. So that's the thing about wrestling and wrestlers as athletes. Fans tend to think at times that you're like machines and robots and you can't have no feelings and you can't have a shitty day and not perform the best of your abilities that you wanted to in the first place. That's what you always want to perform to the best of your abilities, but sometimes shit days make a shit performance. That just happens.
Yeah.
My point being is I see the talent come together on multiple levels. And you've talked to us about that, Shay. She's your girl, she's your minion up there, but then she's scratching your face and pulling your hair down here.
Yeah.
These balances that you athletes, wrestlers do is just simply amazing to me as a fan, because you have to mentally change your your speaking ability from one to another, being heel face. You have to wrestle differently. You have to have your psychology differently. You have multiple gear to make the babyface come out a little bit more, if you will. You have all of these facets mentally, psychology to bring to the table. And I know I'm rambling just a smidge here, but but the balance that you athletes do, you have a friendship in one area, you come down here and now you've got to scratch each other's eyes out. I don't know how you guys and girls do it, but I give you all the props for doing it. And I know I use the word perform maybe a bit much, but I really don't know how to put it, because yes, it is a performance, but yes, it's real, it's athletic, it's dangerous, and it's multitudes of other things within those realms. How can you get in the ring? I guess this is my bigger point. And a friend of yours being across the ring, now I got to scratch your eyes out, or you got to scratch my eyes out. How do you balance these things and maintain decorum and friendship outside of the ring, because things can get a little wacky inside that ring?
So I've been very fortunate that the women I have come across in the business have been nothing but helpful. I know some people have horror stories, but I've been very, very fortunate that every woman I've ran into, we just want to have fun. We want to put on a show. We want to have a good time. I'm all for building women up. I don't think there's enough of that. I don't think there's enough of women uplifting other women. And we all have a similar goal, and we're all there to have fun, and we're all there to just like do what we love. And it is real and it does hurt. I mean, I got injured 6 months into my wrestling journey. I was at a seminar with Anthony Green, and I had a acute compression fracture in my L1 vertebrae from learning how to do a diamond cutter, because I'm a big DDPY fan. I lost a ton of weight doing it. It's one of my idols. And I was like, I want to learn how to do it. I landed wrong, have an acute compression fracture. It's healed now, but it's never going to be the same. Right. But you know, you tell people that, and 9 times out of 10, they're like, okay, like if you're not comfortable with that, we're not going to do that. And I've been so lucky. And like, I feel like I've been really fortunate with my opponents, whether I'm babyface or heel, and they understand at the end of the day, you might stiff someone. It happens. You know, you're in the moment. The crowd gets to you. You hit them too hard. And it's just like you go back and you apologize. You know what I mean? You just have to keep the real life and the wrestling like separate, which is hard because it does sometimes get chippy. But like I said, I honestly have been very fortunate. So far, I have not experienced any of that.
Excellent. That's a big plus, especially when you're trying to rise up in your early career. That's a big plus right there. Um, talk to us about seminars, because I've been to a few as a fan, and I've recorded some of the goings ons. Basically, at the dojo, I've probably been about, let's see, carry 4, we'll multiply by 10, probably like 4 seminars.
Yeah.
And I find them very interesting as a fan, and that's why I asked, do you mind if I record? And they're like, yeah, but you can put it on your channel, but never unlock them, which I do. I have some of that footage still on my channel. But the seminars, I feel, as a fan, for the wrestlers, it seems to be one of those tools that I think may not get thought of in the forefront of that toolbox, because you want the look, you want the promo, you want the move set, you want all the work you can get and all of that. And seminars, I think, aren't maybe a big enough focus on some of the talents. Talk to us about the importance of these seminars.
So they are super important. I myself have not gone to as many as I should. I've done a Fandango seminar. I've done an Anthony Green seminar, and I think one more, but it was a really long time ago. But they're very important. I mean, they're giving their time to you, and they genuinely care. Like, they want you to learn and grow, and they show you things that they've learned. Anthony Green teaches you a lot of stuff he learned in Japan, and they'll be like, what do you want to work on? Like, is there something that you want to learn? And it's a very valuable, like, and honestly, like, important thing to do. Like, get to as many as you can. I've been really looking at the Gabe Sapolsky seminars. Those are very important. Those are very important, especially with the ID program.
Yes.
I've been looking at those lately, and yes, it's expensive. It is money, but it's so important. It's just like, it's cool to see them. They'll see what you can do. They'll teach you some stuff, and then they'll give you a match, and then they'll give you feedback. And then later on, you can be like, oh, this person told me this. And then it's just like, just adds more to you. It just adds more layers, because I started training at Next Gen Pro Wrestling Center 3 years ago, and I had Mike Hollow and Scott Reed. And then I went to Bell Time, where I had Bo Douglas, Benny Jix. And then now I'm at Chaotic, where I have Chase Del Monte, Brian Logan, Max Smashmaster, Anthony Green, Dijak. It's so important to learn from as many people as you can. It can't hurt you. It can only make you better. And you can always learn something new from somebody. Like, you never stop learning in wrestling. And that's a big thing that I've learned.
And I like how you've been to training facilities, the Next Gen, and then you moved on, and then you've moved on. And these facilities, training facilities, they give you, we speak about this. I talk to the talent about it all the time. It gives you more knowledge, and it gives you more this, and it gives you more this, and all of that. But from the first place that you started at, that second place is definitely not going to be training the same way. And they teach you something and stuff that you were like, oh shit, I didn't even, because there's a certain way that each facility kind of goes by.
Yes.
And I know that you learn all aspects, to work the camera, to do the promos, to this and that. but not every facility works the same. So when you go to different facilities, that is just so much more knowledge and experience gained in your career that you will never get anywhere else by staying at your home base.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
So
there's nothing wrong with it. I've had my coach tell me, go to Test of Strength, work with Slick. Like it's not going to hurt you, and if the people care about you enough, like it's not going to make a difference. You know, it's a business, and you have to like do what's good for you. So you go to one training place, you don't like it, you go to another one. You know, there's no hurt in it, and it's just all flavors. You know, wrestling, I've been told, is subjective. Like some people may like one thing, some like the other. I love NEPWA because it makes me accountable and it's structured. So
okay.
it's like it works for me, you know? So every to each their own.
And I mean, not to take away from the others, you know, the Bell
Exactly.
Time and the Next Gen, but I mean the names that have come out of the New England Pro Wrestling Academy. I mean, come
Yeah.
on, you know? So, I mean,
No,
they have that reputation. And now with the ID program, you're getting guys like the Next Gen getting a little bit more focus from the eyes of WWE and such. Please go ahead.
yeah. Our school wasn't ID'd. I was surprised, but at the same time, like it's not a big deal. Like it's not the end of the world. There's a lead up in Concord that I know has the ID program, and they've been very welcoming to me, offering for me to come up there, which is great. But it's so good to like be at a school where it's inclusive, it's fair, they want nothing but the best for you, and they want to take you to that next level. If you want to go there and you're willing to put in the work, you'll go so far, no matter where you are, whether it be Next Gen, Bell Time, Elite, NEPWA. Like you just got to put in the work, you know?
And let's look at my guest on Monday evening, Sammy Diaz, right?
Incredible.
I've seen him from the beginning of PWA. He's rose up year after year, pushing his limits, challenging himself that we discussed in his interview. The challenge of yourself may be here or may be physical. You have to keep the perseverance and keep pushing. Sometimes you have to take a little break, as we've said before.
Yeah, burnout's
But
real.
now he's juggling the profession and his family. You know, he's got that beautiful child now,
Mhm.
and these are things that you have to go through within your growing up as a man and as a woman in your career, and have to find a way. And I hate to use the word balance or juggle. I don't really know how to do it because it's not easy to do any of those while
Mm-mm.
trying to be in this profession. And I mean, let's be honest, any fucking thing else in your entire life, how to even add anything while trying to do this one profession. So a guy like Sammy Diaz, always challenging himself year after year after year after year and never stopping. And now look at him. He's dripping with gold. I can't even see the guy when he comes out
Yeah.
anymore.
Oh, he's doing so good. What does he have? 5 championships?
Okay, let's calm down. We don't want him to make him cry because he did win the fifth, but the Union came out, beat on him a bit, sent him back in the ring. Alex Cipher came out with Chris Benny. Beanie. We like to call him Beanie. His name is Benet. We like to call him Beanie. He hates that, and we love that. Chris Benet, he came out with some stupid ass contract, and he was fired earlier in the evening, by the way. And he comes out with some contract bullshit, and takes a belt. And Sammy had about 5 belts for maybe 3 to 5 minutes somewhere. But
I've only met him a couple of times, but he's very nice man. You can
oh
see
please,
how good he's worked. Yeah, he's an incredible worker. Incredible.
Sammy Diaz or Chris Benet?
Sammy Diaz.
Okay, thank you. Now we can agree. Okay.
No, I don't know the other guy you're talking about.
Okay, I thought you were complimenting Beanie. I was like, no,
I
don't do
haven't
that.
been like down to that area very much. I hope to get down there more. I'd love I'm at Pure Vanguard Wrestling on the 14th. I've never been there. I'm very excited. I'm teaming with TOS Young
Young boy!
against the Mission. So it should be fun. I'm looking forward to getting like more into Connecticut.
Okay. Well, we love hearing all of that. That's going to be some fun at Pure Vanguard. A newer promotion. There may be like 3 or 4 shows deep right now. They go by the catch as can catch, can catch a can, if you will. That old school style. And they have 6 matches. That's all they ever give. Is it 6 or 7? I forget. I forget their magic number. But anywho, they have it pretty tight. You know, they got a lovely production thing. They've got cameras and monitors and wires and people, and there's shit going on over at Pure Vanguard. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get any like fish eye GoPro type stuff. Oh, that really pisses me off. Oh! So that'll be a real fun debut for you. I do believe that'll be some fun.
I'm very excited.
And I'll be there. We're going to have a hootenanny, if you will.
Yay!
And hopefully you don't get blockaded by your bodyguard over there. Maybe we can really shake some hands and,
yes,
you know, and have a personal greeting for the very first time. That would be special.
Life is crazy.
Speaking of which, I'm just going to throw this in there real quick. Boys and girls, you see, this is the logo for one cold hard truth, Johnny Pierce.
Yes, it is.
And in real life, you know, they have lives outside of wrestling. And in real life, this has got to be some kind of relationship going on. Holy fuck. The Hellcat and the cold hard truth, they are they are a thing out there in the real world. And I bring this up because I don't even think he was wrestling when I very first met him, and he was like doing the door up at APW. And that's how we met each other, and it was a lot of fun. And oh no, he was, because there was some shenanigans with Two Buff and his AARP president dad, the Buff Dad. That is correct. He was wrestling when I first met him. Well, we kind of got a little. I don't know. We just kicked it off a little bit, you know. And then he started coming to Shut Up and Wrestle a couple times, and he made his way, and we had a little relationship. So we've had a lot of fun. But when I get to interview, and I mean, maybe I should have asked him, but I wasn't really. Nah. When I when I find a couple that are wrestlers together, I kind of like to pose this question. And you know who Big Juicy is, by the way?
I do.
Okay.
Wrestled her up in Maine.
We'll get into her in a second. I believe she was probably the first person that I asked this question of. Do you and your partner mess around, like moves in the house out of nowhere? Selena Hekate just pounces on Johnny Pierce and puts him in a sleeper just for shits and giggles? Or are you, maybe superplexing him off the couch just because he pissed you off in the morning or stuff like that? And do you bounce off ideas from one to another? Because I am sure that has got to be a comforting support system to be able to bounce off of somebody as personal as your significant other. So first question is, do you fuck them up for shits and giggles? And second, do you bounce the ideas, and how does that work?
Yes, I do fuck them up for shits and giggles.
Yes.
We usually end up we'll be chaining around, and we'll put each other in holds, and then I'll end up elbowing him in the face, and then it gets real quick. So we don't go past that. He's outlawed back elbows in this house. They're not allowed. I got him really good too many times. But it's very comforting to have him. He's been in the business longer than I have. I know I grew up with a dad in the business, but having someone that I can go to and be like, hey, is this a stupid idea? Or, hey, would this work? It's really nice to have that. He actually came up with Hellcat. Yeah, so it's like it's really nice to be able to have that person that understands like exactly what you're going through, because to a non-wrestling person, like, this is crazy. Like, what we do is insane.
It is.
It really is. But like, it's cool to be able to be like, oh, like, did you watch my match? Like, what did you think of my match? Oh, like, what could I do better? And he's very good with feedback, and he's
Awesome.
very, very helpful.
Awesome. That is so good to hear. I love it. Love, love, love it. Especially the first part when you said, I just fuck them up for shits and giggles. That might be the title of this episode.
Yeah.
I fuck them up for shits and giggles. That might be the title.
I love
it. Talk to us about the name. Does it represent? Because I'm sure the Hellcat is not your government name. So talk to us about the name. Does it represent anything? And you said you kind of already touched upon it. You had a little help coming up with the moniker and stuff. But talk to us about the name here.
So when I first started wrestling, I had no idea. I wanted to do something where it was like triple H's, like H, H, and H. Because when I was younger, I grew up in Nashua, New Hampshire, and my dad would train with Triple H at the Gold's Gym because my dad was a wrestler as well. So I was like, oh, I want to do Triple H's, and I was like, it might not work, but I started with Heather Havoc. That was my original name.
Okay.
And as I started going, I was like, I don't really like that. Like, a lot of people have Havoc in their name, and I want to be unique, and I want to be different, and like, I want to stand out. And I love Catwoman. And Catwoman in the comic books is Selena Kyle. So I got the Selena from that. And then Hekate is an ancient goddess in mythology of like death and witchcraft, and she shapeshifts, and I'm really into like mythology. And I thought that's a cool like dark name because I'm a heel all the time mostly. And I just really liked it, and it worked really well together. And then I was like, I don't know if I need a moniker. And of course, John's like, yes, you do. So I'm like bouncing all these things off him, and I'm like, this is stupid. Like, I can't figure one out. And he's like, what about the Hellcat? And I was like, oh my God, Kate, Hell, Selena, the cat. And I was like, perfect. So it's very simple, but it's like just little things that like I love. Like, I just kind of incorporated into my wrestling character.
That's awesome when you can take what you enjoy outside the ring and incorporate it into what you're presenting. That's beautiful. I love me some Catwoman. Now I'm not I don't know a lot of the mythology and the Greek and all of that stuff, but I was in a band, and we were about to cut a disc. It was March of 2000, and we needed a name, and our name was Rat Bastards with a Z. And we had this gnarly rubber, it looked like it came out of fucking Emmett Otter's jug band thing, as like the snake, that nasty dude. He was just this nasty, gnarly, had a collar around him, spiked collar. He was a badass for a mascot. But then as we're going into the studio, the drummer is like, I don't want swearing on our album because we don't swear at all, zero on the album. I go, okay, I can appreciate that. Well, days and days and days and days and weeks have gone by. So I found the studio, and it gave us 2 months to come up with a name. So 4 days before we were supposed to go to the studio, I said, listen, you junk bastards, I'm taking this dictionary and I'm throwing it up in the air. And we, as a band, are going to pick what we think is the best name. It's going to be one word, no multi-words, none of this bullshit. And we came up with Atreus. Now, Atreus has 2 meanings. A French word, atrus, to hasten, to be quick. And the other one was Atreus. He was an asshole of a god. He was a jerk, and people hated him, and and I'm like, all right, it's Atreus.
I love that. So unique. I love it. And I'm assuming it was rock.
Yes.
Rocker. I'm a big fan. I'm a big rock metal fan. So
yes. Uh, well, basically, what it was material already written through our guitarist's heartbreak and such. That's the best material. So myself and a bass player joined at the same time because they were looking for different players to really push the band a little bit. So we joined, we learned material, and within 3 months, I had cash from everybody and a studio waiting to cut a disc.
That's
And we
awesome.
had a hell of a time. Yes, it was very, very fun. Lots of great memories. But this isn't about me, but your name kind of drew me to the band name. And I take wrestling and music. It's so very similar.
Yes, very important. Very important.
I played guitar for many years, and before I did kind of stop, I was doing an 80s hair band stuff. I don't have the hair to do it, but but we were doing the Whitesnake and the Rat and the Crew and some one-offs like Kingdom Come, Get It On, and like all sorts of fun stuff. We had a blast.
That's
good.
What I grew up on. That's what I grew up
Yeah.
on. Whitesnake I've seen, and I've seen Motley Crue, and I'm a big Poison fan. I absolutely love the 80s scene. It's just so cool, and so much music has come from it. And
Yeah.
I love that for you.
So much fun. Yeah, I think what drew me away is because I wore too many hats. The sound guy, the PA guy, putting it together, doing the sound checks, doing the whole night. The web, the posters, the sending of, the traveling to give. And I just wore so many hats as an individual in the band to try to push us. We were together for about 6 years. Talk about a whole lot of fun. And I didn't do like cocaine and acid and all of that shit. Those are my years way back. So I was having fun just doing one shot of Jack Honey before a show, just to kind of get my nerves settled down a little bit. Maybe have a little devil's lettuce, and we are off to the races.
Yes.
Lots of fun. We're talking about my band. Don't do that. We're here for Selena. The music that you come out to, because that's another one of these tools. And I know it's hard. Like, what do I do? How do I do it? Do I take Crazy Train by Ozzy? Some of this generic, typical stuff. What are you coming out to right now? And why have you picked this particular music?
Great question. So at the moment, I'm using Usurper. It's by this band NXCRE.
Okay.
John actually introduced me to the song, and we were like, oh, we could use it as a tag team. And I listened to it and I loved it so much. And I was like, I have to use it because it's dark, it's slow, it's just great. I love it so much. Sometimes I use just like copyright songs depending on the promotion, but 95% of the time it's Usurper. I'd love to use like a In This Moment song. There's a song called Half God, Half Devil I've been dying to use, but I haven't been able to. And a lot of my entrance inspiration came from Randy Orton.
Oh.
Come out, strike the pose, get up on the buckle, strike a pose. It's very simple, yet like very effective, and like the attention's all on you.
And that's what gives us those signals though when you come through the curtain and doing those kind of things. And to me, you reminded me more, especially being female, of Camille as of late. When she was the champion in NWA, she had quite a hell of a run, maybe a couple years there.
Yeah.
You really, when I first saw you at let's see, I carried a 43. Training Day 50. When I first saw you, that's the very first time I've seen you perform live. And when you came through that door, I went, Camille, like immediately.
Yeah, I get a lot. I do actually get that a lot. I get that. I get Lita. I get both. But I am pretty tall for a girl.
That's what I was gonna say. You have some size and you have a little bit of physique as well. So I really got Camille when I first saw you.
It's a very good compliment. Thank you, Don.
Oh, absolutely.
Incredible.
Striking, good look, great gear, and that's Miss Hekate in a nutshell. Very professional. So again, it was just very reminiscent of Camille. I hate what you're doing with her right now. Please, if I gotta be honest.
I know, I hate it too.
She needs to be a dominant force and nothing but. And
Yep.
I hate that they're, yes.
Mhm.
Doing these travels, as they say, doing the drives. Are you finding yourself coming out with some memories? May it be you got stuck on the road, something stupid happened, you go into a Wawa, something stupid happened, or you were at a hotel, something stupid happened. I can see a smile. I think you have something in mind.
So many.
I was wondering.
Yelling at me from the corner.
Oh my God, you have at least 1.7 trillion from that one. Is there one story that makes you smile, that is fun, that you can share with us, the fans, that has happened over your career in this 1 year of activity right now?
From traveling or just in general?
Just in general, really. I mean, it doesn't have to be traveling. You know, I just use traveling because when you take the drives, it seems to be the inhibitions come out a little bit because you're not having to be a professional athlete at the show. You're in your car, you're in your friend's car, and the friends are in your car, so your inhibitions get a little different out there. So yeah, it doesn't have to be traveling, just something that comes to mind.
Well, we do travel with people. We travel with Sigma, Scott Kane,
Oh,
B.A. Tatum. We travel with
oh,
people. We like to carpool just for like time, and it's fun, and we can enjoy each other, and we get to share stories, talk about our matches. But we got stuck in a really bad snowstorm once. We worked a show in Vermont, and it's at least 3 hours away. My dog wants to make a cameo here.
oh, hi, dog.
Hi, Dylan. But yeah, we got stuck in a snowstorm. It was probably like a foot of snow? Yeah, it was like,
Oh, God damn. Hi, Mr. Pierce.
Oh, yeah.
Boys and girls, we had him on very recently. One cold hard truth. The dog's for a pin. 1, 2, 3. Get him.
he went.
uh,
The snowstorm was crazy because
Me,
we had to
BA.
drive me, him, and B.A. Tatum
January.
in January.
Winter Slam, Green Mountain.
Green Mountain Wrestling in Vermont. Fantastic promotion.
Barry to Merrimack to home.
Barry, Vermont. And then we dropped BA off in Merrimack, New Hampshire. We drove home to Worcester.
Plus 5 hours.
It took us absolute
You were going
hours.
5 miles an
I was going like 5 miles an hour. It was like death locking the wheel, but like I wouldn't trade it for anything. And I love traveling with people, and we get to just like connect like as people, not just like wrestlers. Like we create friendships through there, and we meet really awesome people along the way. And there's just so many good memories I have. It's hard to like just pick one.
well, as soon as I kind of pose that question, if I don't see a smile, I usually think that they're just churning and trying to figure something out. But 9 out of 10 times, a smile will come right to that face, and I'll be like, I know you got something.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to talk about an opponent that you have upcoming, and one, Evie De La Rosa. I'm very, very familiar. She's the TOS Women's Champion. That belt was designed in homage to China specifically, really.
Wow.
And the GM did an amazing job on that thing.
Beautiful.
And she's the current TOS, and she has other accolades currently now. But you have her coming up in a match very soon. if I'm not mistaken. Have you ever worked with or been at a show with Evie? Because she could be pretty intense, Miss Hecate.
So I've known of Evie. Obviously, she's got so much under her belt. I saw her at Chaotic once. She worked Paris Van Dale for the
Ooh.
Pan Arctic Championship. They had an incredible match. I finally got to like really meet her at Training Day 51. Training Day 51. I have her January 25th, 2025 in Maine at Main Event Wrestling. And I'm very excited. I've seen her work. She's incredible. She's got a really cool style that I'm not used to working. But the roles are reversed, and I'm gonna be beating her up.
Oh, okay. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I mean, I'm very excited, and she was super nice. That was the first time I've really got to meet her face to face, and I'm just very excited to like learn from her and just have an awesome, cool match, and hopefully more to come.
One of those quality reps that we speak of.
Yes, so it will be a great rep.
That is both yours and Evie's debut at Main Event. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah, I've wrestled in Maine for Larry Huntley.
Okay.
I've wrestled for Adam Booker at EWA. So I'm making my way up there. But that's my first time at that promotion, and it's both of our debuts, so it's gonna be a good time.
Wow. Well, good luck, and I wish you both the best. That'll be a hootenanny of a match. I gotta watch that one. I gotta be able to see the footage from that.
Yes, I'm sure.
Excuse me. Do you hold any accolades right now?
I don't hold any accolades right now. The only thing like that's really prominent for me at the moment is just NCW, where I have like my own faction now.
Okay.
I haven't won any like championships or anything just yet, but hopefully in the future. I'm patient. I'm just having fun, and I'm just doing my best, and I'm just enjoying this whole experience, and I'm just really lucky that I get to do it.
Excellent. You seem like you have great direction. You have great people behind you within the training, within a support group, being one cold hard truth. And I'm sure there's others. We discuss support system on here and how very, very important it is as one of those tools, something that you wouldn't think you would need until you need it, a support system behind you to become a singles wrestler. But obviously, we've spoken about the cold hard truth being one of those supporters. Do you have a more of a support system than him putting you in a sleeper every so often to challenge you?
I mean, I have a really good support system. All of the people at NEPWA, super supportive. They're always like pushing me to the next level and pushing me to my limits because they know what I'm capable of. My parents are very, very supportive. Obviously, Johnny is very supportive. His parents, I have a very, very good group of people, and I'm very, very lucky. And some fans, there's this guy Damon Farr, Jerry Lake. They come to all the shows, and even though I'm not there yet, they're so supportive, and they're just it's really awesome just to like grow all of that.
And and I know this is a very, very different age of wrestling. Not only the evolution of wrestling itself, but the evolution of the wrestling fan as well. This is a very different, and visually on some of these socials, just very heartbreaking with the way that the fans speak and think that they know and think that they can say anything and all things because we see people on TV and shit like that. But Then you find guys like a Damon and a Jerry and a Fogman and myself, and we're just there to lift the talent from the ground up, not to push them down because they fucked up a move and had to write something about it on their Facebook or any
Yeah.
garbage like that. So I still find that are very, very true fans to wrestling are still in abundance out there. Um, and I'll pose this question. We'll bring it to a tail end because we have been talking for a solid hour. And I could talk to you forever, but I don't want to get strangled by the cold hard truth at, the next training day or something. But I will pose this question because you are a female talent, and being a female talent is much different than being a male talent in the industry. So my question would be this. At this point in your career, have you had to deal with any of these little touchy bastards, over the guardrail or try to kind of possibly cross the line? Because I have talked to some of the female talent on SCP that, yeah, I had to take care of some business and people had to interject. And have you had to get in any of those bad scenarios with the fans because it is real and you do have to deal with them?
I've honestly been very fortunate so far. I obviously get the cat calls and the names, but like I've never been like touched by a fan or like
Excellent.
anything appropriate like that. I've been
Excellent.
very lucky in locker rooms. They're very respectful towards me. I mean, I got a brick house with me, but also I feel like wrestling's come such a long way, and like women's wrestling isn't as much of a joke anymore. They
Right.
take us more seriously. Um, but no, I really haven't had to deal with anybody being very inappropriate with me.
Well, it hurt when that guy touched me.
Well, I love to hear that personally because I have heard some bullshit stories. We don't like to hear those, but I have to pose a question because it does become part of your career. And and not all females, and I'm not saying everybody goes through it that's a female talent, but it happens a lot, and you get these, freaky deakies out there that are messaging you and, just the dumb shit.
Yeah, the people online, they'll message me, but I'm just like, I'll ignore it. Like, but it's never anything like out of line where they come to a show and like I feel uncomfortable, but they definitely are like in my DMs. But it's like, that's Selena. Like, I'm not gonna answer you.
Well, I love to hear that. You carry yourself professionally, visually. You carry yourself professionally speaking. You carry yourself professionally in the ring. You seem to carry yourself professionally in the locker room. And it seems at this point in your very young tenure in your wrestling career, you seem to have an amazing foundation, an amazing start, and it looks like the future is definitely bright for one Hellcat in the biz in this of wrestling. And you seem like you're having a ton of fun doing it.
I am. I've been working everywhere. I've been booked almost every weekend. I've worked Canada. I've done Maine, Vermont, pretty much all of New England now that I've checked Connecticut off my list. So, I've been very fortunate to have really good support systems and really good training. And I just want to be the best. And I don't want to be like an enemy to anybody. Like, I just want us all to like have fun, do what we love, and like get to the next level. Like, I just want everyone to succeed, and we're all doing this for the same reason. And I can't wait to learn more and work more people and get out there and maybe someday make it to the next level.
What a great way to end this amazing conversation we had with Miss Hekate. This was exactly how I kind of envisioned this when I first asked you to come on. I thought there was going to be a little interjector from One Cold Hard Truth to telling me to fly straight, but he was excellent tonight. That was very kind. He was very nice. And the dog pinned him, so that Miss Hekate, you've been absolutely fantastic with us, the fans, tonight, sharing your story, being very informative. We've talked so many things about your career and where you're at today and where you've started and all of the good things in between. And I cannot wait to see you on Netflix on Monday Night Raw. That is going to be amazing. We cannot wait for when that happens. That will be some good times. I usually pose one question before I let the talent go, but I'm not going to say every word that I usually say. So I'll be a good boy. Okay. Before I let you go, I would love for you to share with us, the fans, the handles of your social medias. May they be your Twitter, your Insta, or what have you, so we can find you, get new fans to check you out, go look at some matches, some footage, and be able to get some new followers to Miss Hekate.
That's awesome. I appreciate that. On Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, you can find me at Selena Hekate. Just straight Selena Hekate.
Okay.
It's still a work in progress. I just started them not that long ago, but you'll be able to find where I'm going to be at. You're going to find links to my matches and future matches and all that good stuff.
Awesome. This has been one jam-packed hour and 10 minutes with the Hellcat herself. And I am so glad I reached out after Mr. Cold Hard Truth was on here, because I had a ding in my one little brain cell. I've never met her, but I would love to have her on the show. And this was absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for setting some time out of your busy schedule, your personal life, to talk to us, to the fans. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Dawn. I loved it so much. Maybe we'll do this again. We'll run it back.
I would love to run it back. We just did a full circle, like from 2019 to 2024 with one Sammy Diaz. I would love to run it back. That would be fantastic. A great evening, a shitty day at work, but a great evening with one Hellcat. This is Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid and our very special guest, the Hellcat herself, Selena Hekate. Thank you so much.
Thank you.